Eye-opener, work vacation. What do you call a vacation where you work for your room and board while on that vacation? I call it work. This is the state of America today. I was watching some travel channel where there was a KOA park in which some of the visitors were also pseudo-volunteers for the campground. They were not paid but compensated by getting the cost of their stay reimbursed after they had worked while staying at the campground. This sounds like a summer job, but many of the people who participated in this work lodging exchange were adults, some seemingly in their 60s. This sounds more like a country in decline than the richest nation that the world has ever seen. Perhaps a small indicator, but one of the 1,000 cuts that is killing America. Cuts that are compounded around the world. This, at least to me, is why I feel as if the reality I experience today is not the reality I experienced before they started up the Large Hadron Collider. I mean, Donald Trump as president? Joe Biden as president? Obama, the first black president actually causing a 19% drop in black wealth? There is no way anyone could ever convince me that the first two mentioned were the best choices that a country of over 300 million people had to offer. As for Obama, he could have governed in a manner that at least left Black America's status, at least as it related to Black America's wealth, unchanged. For years, I've pointed out both large and small examples that indicated America's decline. I tried to point out how my examples and the solutions I offered were meant to be a means to change the course of my homeland to one that would benefit more of its citizens, not fewer. For years, the main pushback has been that I should move to another country. This was not my goal when critiquing the words and actions of our leaders. The goal was to fix the problems we all faced before they grew too large. The goal was to avoid the 1,000 cuts that have led to the downfall of so many of my fellow Americans. Because to be honest, I don't understand how so many Americans can live with the debt that is required, not just to thrive, but to survive for so many. Unless one is invested wisely, it is of course too late for many of my generation as well as the next few generations to avoid working until they die. This post is more for those who are being born today and in the near and distant future. Don't fall for the tricks that the elite use to keep you impoverished. Don't listen when they push the narrative that collective bargaining or union membership is bad. Don't buy into the belief that those who start a business are the ones who should primarily benefit from said business in perpetuity, especially when the offspring of those who started the business are also expected to be the ones who benefit the most in perpetuity. Just look into the things that the children of Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, have said, especially the daughter. Letting the elite maintain power only allows them to absorb greater portions of the wealth available in the United States and the world. It only leads to stagnation, not only of the economy, but of society and civilization. Just look at technology. The advances that have come about over the past few decades have come from newcomers, not from the old guard. If it were left up to the old guard, we would all still be using the big brick-like phones from the 80s, and we would still be paying by the minute. If you like the videos here and would like to see more, let your friends and family know about this website called Mike's Sons Entertainment on YouTube. There are plenty of blogs, news, and websites reporting and complaining about our leaders and their failures. How many, however, are offering or even pointing to any solutions? The book Solutions. Enough Complaining. Let's Fix America by Chris Osman does, and it can be found on Amazon or at www.mikesonsentertainment.com. To find out other ways you're being screwed by your current leaders, check out the posts on this blog daily. Learn about the biggest and worst issues that America and its people face today. You can also check into this blog daily to hear about those issues that America and its people will face in the near and distant future. If, however, you would like to discover possible solutions to either mitigate the worst impacts of these issues or solutions to avoid them altogether, keep listening. The problems we face are not as complicated as so many leaders and news reports claim. They are man-made and are only claimed as complicated so those who are responsible can maintain control. For example, there is a persistent argument that moving government is like turning a cruise ship around. it is supposedly a long process that can only be achieved incrementally. While this may be true for laws and policies that benefit the majority of Americans, it does not seem to be so for that smallest of American minorities. When one examines the policies and laws that benefit that minority, known as the elite or the rich, the speed at which those laws are passed is exponentially faster. While most of us sit on the deck chairs waiting for the Titanic to avoid the myriad of icebergs of which we seem to continually run afoul, the elite ride comfortably in speedboats. If, according to the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal, why do the rich live quite different lives than the rest of us? Where is our speedboat? In 2018, Chris Osman wrote a book highlighting the problems humanity would face if more power, wealth, and control were funneled to a small group of individuals, groups, or organizations. In that book, Mr. Osman provides solutions, offered up from himself and others, to the inevitable problems we would all face. In it, he also provided a means for the public to analyze, compare, and contrast the words and deeds of those we've chosen to follow against our real-world experiences. To this end, Mr. Osman provides the means for readers to disseminate information as provided by their news sources of choice, their elected officials, and any other authority they choose to follow. The book, titled Solutions, Enough Complaining, Let's Fix America, offers a means to hold leaders up, not just to a higher standard than is currently accepted, but to one that will improve lives. They own you when you're at work. Don't allow them to own you when you're not at work. Click the link below and get your copy of Solutions today.